guys, it's Rachel here from Rachel Republic. Today I have an all new recipe on how to make lavender cake. This lavender cake is super light and fragrant, so it's essentially perfect for the summer. Anyway, stick around and watch how it's done. We're going to start out first with the lavender cake base, and to get that lavender flavoring we're going to go with lavender extract as well as some dried lavender buds. To start, go ahead and combine all of the dry ingredients together in a bowl, and then mix that together. Then add about 12 tablespoons of softened butter. Mix in the butter until the mixture becomes really coarse and crumbly. It'll resemble a sand-like texture. Then proceed by adding 4 egg whites one at a time and thoroughly mixing before each addition. With each egg white, you should notice that the mixture becomes a lot more dough-like and sticks together a lot more. We're also going to add 1 normal egg, including the egg yolk. So to loosen up this thick dough, we're going to get on to our liquid and wet ingredients. In a medium-sized bowl, combine the milk, vanilla, and lavender extract. Lavender extract can be super potent, so be very careful when you add it in. I added about 10 droplets to achieve the flavor that I liked. And whisk all those liquid ingredients together. Then pour in the liquid into the dry ingredients at small portions at a time. A lot of people have trouble finding lavender extract because they don't often sell it in regular supermarkets, so I would recommend going to a health food store and make sure that the lavender extract you buy is edible, because I know a lot of people who make that mistake too. When the dough is sort of a silky smooth consistency that is still a little bit thick, that is when you're done. So go ahead and put that into a greased pan lined with parchment paper. I divided the batter up into 2 different pans so that way I could stack the 2 layers on top of each other to make a taller cake later on. Bake the cake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 minutes or even a little bit longer. Make sure to insert a toothpick in the middle of the cake to make sure it comes out clean. And for this cake, I would really watch it because I took it out a few times and I noticed that it still wasn't cooked in the very center. So make sure you check out the center before you take it out completely. Now let's move on to the lavender buttercream. So first you're going to cream together a stick of butter that is softened. I accidentally melted mine, that's why it looks so funky. But just go ahead and whip up 1 stick of butter and add around 2 cups of powdered sugar. To add in some flavoring, go ahead and add 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla and once again 5 to 10 drops of lavender extract. This part is totally optional, but I like adding a little bit of food coloring just to kind of create a purple lavendery color. So the ratio that I use is 2 droplets of red food coloring to 1 droplet of blue food coloring. Once the cakes are completely cool, go ahead and pop them out of the pan and go ahead and get a serrated knife in order to level the cakes, unless you have a cake leveler. So basically just try and cut off that top dome part of the cake because we want it to be completely flat when we stack it on top of the other part of the cake. Don't forget to peel off the parchment paper that's on the bottom of the cake. This part is also optional, but I don't really like that burnt crust and edge around the cake, so I'm just going to cut it off by using a circular shape that I cut out of cardboard. And just gently pull off the sides of the slightly browned cake. Repeat this same exact process with the second layer of cake. Once your 2 layers of cake are prepared, go ahead and add some lavender buttercream to the top of one of your cakes. This will be the center filling of the cake. So somewhere around here my camera kind of just got messed up and stopped recording footage. But basically what you do is that you stack the other layer of cake on top of that frosting and then create a little creme coat around the whole cake. So that's just a thin layer of frosting to lock in the crumbs. Then refrigerate it for a couple hours. After you're done with the creme coat and it's been refrigerated, use an offset spatula once more to create the final layer of frosting on your cake. This can be thicker and should conceal all the crumbs and the little flaws on the cake, you could say. At the end, I also used a icing scraper just to kind of smooth out all those little wrinkles and all those little blemishes on the cake. Here's a tip. So I don't really have a cake stand or a cake turntable. So what I used instead was a Lazy Susan, and it actually is okay. It's pretty effective. So that's an alternative if you guys don't have cake stands yourselves. So to top off the cake, I just sprinkled some dried lavender buds on top. Now make sure you refrigerate your cake once more until you're ready to serve and cut into the cake. Here you guys go. This is my recipe on how to make a 2-layered lavender cake that is light, fragrant, and just ultimately perfect for the summer. This cake is super delicious and so cute as well. I hope you guys really enjoyed this recipe and stay tuned next week for an all-new baking video. Thanks guys, I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and also make sure to subscribe.